This week, the President of the European Commission, José Manuel Barroso, received a visit from an Angolan delegation led by the Foreign Minister, Jorge Chikoti, and the Minister of Planning, Ana Dias Lourenço. Following talks on the bilateral relationship, both sides signed a new cooperation agreement entitled Joint Way Forward, Angola-European Union. This agreement aims to raise to a new level the relationship between Angola and the EU by deepening the political dialogue and bilateral cooperation in areas of common interest, recognizing Angola's growing regional and international role and the importance of strengthening the bilateral relationship with the EU. The European Union is the largest donor in Angola and an important economic and political partner. Under the 10th European Development Fund, 2008 to 2013, more than €250 million have been allocated to a multi-year cooperation programme. The European Union is also an important economic and political partner of Angola. According to the latest available data, EU exports to Angola have doubled since 2005, and the EU is now the largest exporter to Angola and its third largest trading partner overall. Imports from Angola also increased significantly during the same period. On Tuesday, José Manuel Barroso sent a letter to all EU heads of state and government to express his concern about the Council's position on the draft 2013 budget. The reaction came after the Council had approved a limit on the increase in payments in the EU budget 2013 to 2.79%, which is very likely to prove insufficient to honour the EU's payment obligations. In his letter, President Barroso warned of serious consequences of this position for economic recovery in Europe. The cuts amount to more than €5 billion, of which €3.5 billion are directly dedicated to sustainable growth. This would affect regions, researchers or SMEs, with the risk that they would be starved of finance, said President Barroso, stressing that this approach is in complete contradiction to the calls of the EU heads of state and government made at last June's European Council, when they concluded that the EU budget must be a catalyst for growth and jobs across Europe. President Barroso travelled to Athens on Thursday to meet Mr. Antonis Samaras, Prime Minister of Greece. The leaders discussed the economic situation in Greece as well as in the Eurozone and the European Union as a whole. The President assured Greek people that he is aware of the extremely difficult sacrifices many of them are currently making. But he encouraged the Greeks to recognise that the other alternatives would be much more difficult for Greece and would affect even more the most vulnerable in Greek society. Therefore, the coalition government must speed up the implementation of key reforms and ensure that the second programme for Greece is back on track. Greece can make it. Together, Greece and Europe will make it, said the President.
You, in Greece, with our support, need to rebuild your country, your structures, your administration, your economy, to increase the competitiveness of Greece. And the best hope of a return to growth and job creation is inside the euro area. Staying in the euro is the best chance to avoid worse hardship and difficulties to the Greek people, namely for those in a more vulnerable position. Prime Minister has assured me that the coalition government will respect the commitments under the second programme and will speed up the key structural reforms that are needed, including the privatization process. And of course, also the reforms in the public administration, for instance, the reform against tax evasion. The key word here is deliver. Deliver, deliver, deliver. The main issue is implementation to deliver results. To maintain the trust of European and international partners, the delays must end. Words are not enough. Actions are much more important. Following my meeting with Prime Minister Samaras, I am reassured that this delivery will happen.
On the same occasion, the President gave a reminder of the mutual interdependence of EU member states in the crisis, repeated the EU's commitment to stabilise the euro, and announced legislative proposals for a single supervisory mechanism in the context of a banking union, with a key role for the European Central Bank.
At European level, the Commission is working intensively towards the creation of a banking union. In early September, we will make a legislative proposal for a single supervisory mechanism. This will rely on the European Central Bank as regards the euro area. We will propose to assign to the European Central Bank supervisory tasks in full separation from its independent monetary policy responsibilities. Giving to the ECB the ultimate responsibility for supervision of banks in the euro area will decisively contribute to increase confidence between the banks and, in this way, increase the financial stability in the euro area. The euro area governments and the European institutions, including, naturally, the European Commission and the ECB, will do whatever is necessary to secure the financial stability of the euro area. And this is my final word to you. I think all of us in the euro area and in the European Union should join hands and work together in Greece and in the other countries for the future of our common currency, for the future of our European project. Sometimes I fear that some people have not yet understood that we are all in the same boat. We are really all in the same boat in Europe. That is why, together, Greeks and all the other Europeans should show the same resolve for the very important commitments that have been taken. I thank you for your attention.